Most people don't realize this. But Carl Jung believed that the roots of your emotional pain, your self-sabotage, your inability to trust or to let go often point to one source: your mother. And until you understand this, you will never truly heal. Let's begin. But I'll warn you, this won't be kind, not soft, and definitely not what you want to hear. But it is what you need. Since childhood, you've been trained to look outward, to blame, to slap a name, maybe hers, on your pain. Yes, your mother. But listen, it's not her holding you back. It's what your mind did with her. This isn't blame. It's not hate. It's truth. Sharp, raw, forbidden. She's gone from the room, but not from your unconscious. You've tried to move on. Find peace. But you can't have peace while stuck in a war you don't even know you're fighting. A war against a shadow. Not flesh, not blood. A figure, ancient and silent. An archetype. She took root before you had words, and she doesn't leave on her own. Carl Jung named it the mother complex. But don't let the term fool you. It's not theory. It's a cell, emotional, invisible, with bars made of silence and unmet needs. That voice in your head, that judgment, that hunger for approval, it's not even yours. You inherited it, a soul mark. You ask, how do I fix this? You won't like the answer. Because as long as you see her as all-powerful, whether you worship her or resent her, you're not seeing her. You're seeing a myth, a projection, built from wounds, from looks you never got, hugs that never came, words you ached to hear, and now you're grown. But inside, still that child, still waiting for her to say, it's going to be okay. But here's the brutal truth. She won't. Not now, not ever. Healing isn't about her. It's about you. Finally stopping the wait. You've heard it before. Walk in her shoes. Understand her. Forgive her. Sure, it helps. But not before the real work. Look inward. That wound. It's not hers anymore. It's yours. Only yours. And no one's coming to fix it. Now answer this. How many times have you become her? Said what she said? Did what she did? Things you swore you'd never repeat. There's the trap. This complex, it's not just emotion. It's behavior. It lives in you, moves through you, guides you like a ghost with your face. And if you don't drag it into the light, it owns you. It repeats until someone, you, breaks it. And breaking it, it hurts because it kills the illusion that someday what you never got will suddenly appear. That comfort, that voice, that love. It's not coming. You'll have to give it to yourself. Are you ready for that? To stop waiting, to stop expecting to be loved the way you needed, and start becoming the one who gives it? Because that's the door. There is no other. See, in Jung's world, mother isn't just a woman. She's a symbol, a force. She is origin, warmth, safety, but also fear, dependency, suffocation. If unhealed, she becomes shadow. And that shadow? You project it onto your partner, your friends, your boss, waiting for someone, anyone, to save you, to understand you without a word, to love you without conditions. That's not love. That's lack. And lack isn't cured by someone else. It's cured by truth, by clarity, by courage. So start here. Stop idealizing her. She wasn't perfect. Not a goddess, not a monster. She was human, wounded, flawed, trying. Sometimes what she had wasn't much. That doesn't erase the pain, but it explains the wound. And sometimes understanding unlocks the chain. Not forced forgiveness, not forgetting, but freedom. Because whether you worship her or hate her, you're still bound. Let go. You don't need a mother anymore. You need you, stronger, kinder, wiser. But that version won't just arrive. You build it. Want to begin? Watch your reactions. Every time you feel rejected, ask, who am I really seeing? Them or the old wound? Every time you crave unconditional love, ask, Ask yourself, do I want love, or do I just want to be repaired? Every time you abandon yourself for someone else, stop. Ask, who did it first? Healing isn't clean. It's not light. It's fire. It's a descent into memory, into pain, into the child still screaming inside you. You'll have to go back. Feel what you buried, what you feared, what you ran from. Feel it. Then let it go. And that child? It won't always whisper. Sometimes it rages, sabotages, wrecks everything. Because it's been waiting too long to be heard. So listen. Don't silence it with cliches. Don't dress it in fake peace. Don't throw empty mantras at it. Sit with it. Ask what it needed. Then, give it to yourself. That's self-compassion, not weakness. Medicine. But you'll need courage, because a part of you still hates itself, blames itself, punishes itself, just like they did. Break it. Reparenting your mind isn't theory. It's action. New eyes, new choices, new boundaries. Stop hunting for mothers in people who can't be them. This world, it won't give you what you missed. It's not built for that. It will test you, ignore you, demand from you, and still, you must build yourself. Freedom starts when you stop the loop, when you choose differently, when you remember. You're not 5 anymore. You're not trapped in that house. You don't need permission to exist. But there's a piece of you that still believes it, still waits, still begs, silently. That part isn't guilty, but it is your responsibility now. So act, now. Not when it's perfect, not when you feel ready. Start in the chaos, in the fear, right in the storm. Because healing won't feel like peace. It'll feel like loss, like silence, like saying goodbye to who you used to be, letting go of the victim, of the weight, and stepping into the doer. Does it hurt? Yes. But staying hurts more. So look hard. Ask, what part of this pain still belongs to her? And how long will I let it own me? Make peace, not with her, with yourself. Because in the end, the most powerful mother is not the one who raised you. It's the one you become for yourself. She hasn't been born yet, but she will be. You made it here because you dared to look where most people never do. But there's a darker layer, deeper, quieter, and more powerful. Invisible loyalty. Yes, loyalty. Not chosen, but embedded in you. It's the silent string pulling your soul backward, no matter how much you grow. Want the trap? Here it is. Your unconscious believes that healing beyond your mother is a betrayal. It doesn't matter how many books you read, or how many breakthroughs you have. If you don't face this, you'll circle the same pain forever. Because deep down, you made a vow, a secret one. It says, I won't be better than you, Mom. I won't be freer. I won't heal unless you do it first. That vow is the prison. And the bars? They look like love. You're not driven by hate. You're chained by fidelity. To her pain, to her fears, to her story. You sabotage yourself, not because you're weak, but because a part of you whispers, if I'm happy, and she never was, I've betrayed her. But here's the brutal truth. Your suffering does not honor her. Your pain does not heal her. Your stagnation does not save her. So why do you keep carrying what never belonged to you? Many souls live like this, holding themselves back for a mother who is either gone or never fully there. As if to say, look, Mom, I suffer too, so you're not alone. But that's what's killing you. The real betrayal is not leaving her pain behind. It's repeating it. If you truly want to honor her, you must surpass her. Not with pride, not with resentment, but with evolution. She gave you life. Your duty is to multiply it. Turn that pain into wisdom, into truth, into new life. But for that, you must break the vow, the one made before you could speak. I won't be freer than you. Break it, not in anger, but in love. Say it, even in silence. Thank you for what you gave me. But now, I walk a new path, not out of resentment, but out of love, for both of us. Because as long as you stay loyal to her wounds, you'll repeat her fears, her boundaries, her guilt, her sacrifice, and you'll do it blindly. Look at your life. How many decisions come from that shadow? Is that why rejection paralyzes you? Is that why success makes you feel guilty? Is that why you choose partners who shrink you? Not because you're broken, but because you're loyal. And that loyalty has a cost: your life. But the moment you question it, something opens, a silence, a void, because for the first time you're saying, I am not you, and you are not me. The child inside you may feel like that's abandonment, but the adult in you knows that's birth. This isn't about cutting her off. It's about redefining her within you. Even if she was loving, cold, absent, or overbearing, what matters most is not who she was, but the place you've given her in your psyche. Because if you don't reorder that, you'll either worship her or be enslaved by her. Both are lies. Both are distortions. To heal, you must destroy the fantasy. The martyr mother, the perfect mother, the sacrificed saint, the all-consuming protector. None of those are real. They're myths, constructs, mirages. She was a daughter too. She carried her ghosts too. She loved as she could, and she failed too. You are not here to repeat her story. You are here for more. To transform that inheritance into wisdom, to make the unconscious conscious, to close the cycle. So your children, if you have them, don't carry what's crushing you now. Because what gets passed on is not just DNA. It's trauma, unfelt emotions, unspoken truths, invisible weights. And here comes the most important part of all. You can't change the past, but you can change how the past lives inside you. Do it. Not for her, for you. You don't need to cut ties with your mother. You need to cut ties with the distorted archetype of her living in your psyche. You need to dismantle the voice that judges you every time you shine. You need to challenge the guilt that whispers you're selfish every time you choose yourself. This isn't a rebellion against her. It's a liberation for you. Your original wound, it doesn't define your fate. What defines it is what you do with it. So here's the real question. How much longer will you honor a pattern that no longer serves you? How much longer will you carry a story you didn't even start? The time has come to turn inherited pain into fuel, to stop surviving and start living. But for that, you need one thing: courage. Courage to let go of loyalty. Courage to rebuild yourself without her as the blueprint, whether she gave you everything or left you with nothing. Courage to look in the mirror and say, "Now I take care of me." And when you do, when you choose yourself, then you truly honor your mother. Because the greatest tribute to the one who gave you life is to fully live it. But just when you think you've broken free, something subtler appears. Emotional self-abandonment. And yes, it's rooted in the same mother wound, still buried, still alive. What does a child do when they don't get the love they need? They adapt. They silence themselves. They pretend they're okay. That survival strategy becomes your adult way of life. Have you noticed how you treat yourself? How you speak to yourself? How you demand from yourself what you'd never demand from someone you love? That's not random. That's the internalized voice of a wound left unhealed. You are repeating the abandonment. But now, you are the one doing it. Every time you deny yourself rest, every time you suppress your pain, every time you say yes to what violates your soul so others aren't uncomfortable, you're saying, "If I ignore myself, maybe someone will love me." But here's what that means. You learn to survive by ceasing to exist, and that is a slow, invisible death. You've become your own tyrant, the one who doesn't let you cry, the one who forces you to be strong, the one who demands performance over peace. And the cruelest part, the more you abandon yourself, the more you hope someone will come rescue you. But that savior will never come, because no one can give you what you keep refusing to give yourself. This is the revolution. Take care of yourself like no one ever did. Be your own inner mother. Re-educate your soul. Learn to give yourself the love you were denied. Let yourself feel without judgment. Speak to yourself with gentleness when you fall. And stop demanding perfection when all you really need is comfort. Yes, it will feel foreign, because you're used to the whip, to the criticism, to coldness. But none of that is yours. It's borrowed software. You inherited it not because it worked, but because it was all you knew. Want to break the cycle? Ask yourself, how would I treat a child who just went through what I did? Would I push them harder? Call them weak? Or would I hold them without asking for anything in return? Now realize, that child is you. Yes, even now. Even at 30, 40, 50. Even if you've hardened. Even if you've built a life. Even if you seem fine. That child is still waiting. But no one is coming. Not the way you imagine. Because it's not about being rescued. It's about becoming the one you needed. This isn't mysticism. It's deep psychology. Jung said, "What is not made conscious returns as fate." And here, that truth hits hard. If you don't make your self-abandonment conscious, you'll repeat it in every relationship, every job, every dream. You'll live from emotional hunger, from the aching need to be seen, to be saved. But here's the paradox. You stop needing to be saved only when you become your own refuge. Yes, it's hard, because no one taught you this. They taught you to compete, to perform, to prove your worth, but not how to hold your own heart, not how to sit with your shadows. And here lies a forgotten key. the negative inner mother. That voice that says, "You're not enough. You're late. You don't deserve it. You need more." That voice in your head, the one that says you shouldn't feel what you feel, is not you. But you've adopted it, as if it were your conscience. It's not. It's a distorted, archetypal energy, an internalized figure taking up the space where your self-esteem should be. And until you dismantle it, you'll keep believing your worst enemy is yourself. But it's not. You're just repeating what you were taught. So how do you dismantle it? By listening to it. Yes, listening. Because what you resist persists, but what you observe transforms. The next time that voice appears, don't silence it. Don't drown it out with fake positivity. Face it. Ask it, where do you come from? Who do you belong to? What are you repeating that isn't mine? And you'll see the threads, the origin. And in that moment, something awakens. Not a mystical awakening, but a brutal clarity. You'll realize you've been trapped in a narrative you never questioned. And once you do, you reclaim your power. That is psychological awakening. Not mantras, not gurus, but this. The moment you stop echoing your childhood and start writing your adult life. But be careful. Don't confuse this with fake positivity. This is not about ignoring the pain. It's about owning it, facing yourself without filters. It's about stopping the search for someone else to fill your emptiness, and beginning to fill it yourself. With small, real actions. Need a guide? Here it is. When you're tired, rest. When you're sad, don't judge yourself. When you're afraid, listen, don't shame. This is the new emotional language. This is real inner motherhood. This is how you break the cycle. And yes, it feels overwhelming. But remember, you don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to do it differently. Because if you don't break the pattern, no one will. The change you crave isn't out there. It's in every small act of self-respect. Every time you choose to care for yourself, even when it's hard. Every time you say no so you can say yes to yourself. That is love. And in this world, that kind of love is a revolution. Because when you choose tenderness in a world that teaches punishment, you are defying history. You are looking your lineage in the eyes and saying, "With me, it ends." Not because you're better, not because you're stronger, but because you've chosen to wake up. And once you wake up, nothing can put you back to sleep. Not guilt, not judgment, not that old voice that used to control you. Because now, you no longer walk seeking approval. You walk from within. From a new route, built with awareness, boundaries, and real love. Not love that sacrifices, love that sustains, love that respects. The kind of love you always needed and can now give yourself. And that, even if no one notices, is the true inheritance. And when you get this far, something in you has already shifted. You don't need anyone to confirm it. You feel it. It's that strange stillness inside, a mix of grief and power. Because the end of this journey isn't applause. It's not magical enlightenment. It's silence, a clean, unfamiliar silence. Because for the first time, you broke the noise of what was inherited. And now, you understand why peace felt so far away, why you didn't know who you were. You were crowded by voices that weren't yours, burdened by needs you didn't create, driven by pain that wasn't even yours to begin with. But now, what's left is you, your space, your identity, your voice. And the beauty is this: you won't live without wounds. But for the first time, you'll live with them consciously. And that changes everything. Wounds aren't the problem. Running from them is. Pretending they don't exist. Acting like silence is healing. But healing begins when you name the pain, when you walk through it. And at that crossing, something is born, your true emotional maturity. Not the kind that pretends strength, but the kind that embraces truth. The kind that says, yes, I'm still hurting. And yes, I know how to hold myself now. And that means one thing. You've crossed the threshold. You're no longer a symbolic child of the past. You've become the symbolic parent of your present. You don't live from what was missing. You live from what you create. And that power is rare, because it takes one thing: brutal courage. You've heard it all. Now comes the hardest part: honesty. A fierce will to drop the excuses, the justifications, the inherited fears. To live from within, not echo someone else's old story. And now that you know this, what will you do? Because this video ends here, but the real work, the invisible work, begins now. No one will see it, but you'll feel it. In every choice, every fresh way you treat yourself, every time you break the pattern, every time you decide from awareness, not lack. And even if no one applauds, that is freedom. A freedom you can't buy. So I'll leave you with one final thought, a phrase to tattoo on your soul. When self-love is born from healed pain, it stops being a trend and becomes a silent revolution. If you made it this far, declare it. Right below, I am the end of the pattern. Because by listening, by daring to feel every word, you've already changed. If this shook you, woke you, subscribe. Not for me, for you. Here, we don't entertain egos. We awaken consciousness. And this journey? It's just starting. Turn on the bell. What's coming will hurt, but it will free you. See you, maybe, in the next video. Or maybe you'll simply find yourself in the echo of what you just heard. Either way, you're awake. There's no going back. Now go do something that scares you. Talk to yourself with kindness. Stay silent. Cry if you need to. Look at yourself. No judgment. For 10 seconds. That's all it takes to start. Because when you change how you treat yourself, the world changes how it treats you. Don't believe me? Try it. From that deep place where you no longer need saving. Because guess what? The savior was you, all along. Until then, let the world tremble as you live without repeating what broke you. See you soon. Or maybe you'll be too busy rebuilding yourself. Either way, I'm proud you made it. Until now.